Mandang Gombo Jesu Jambe Yangla Jaza Kange Lodre Drenye Drenra Yeda Nanda Raza Chenye Dengun Cheche Zej Ye Doga Lebam Kanda Zebe Zera Mare Mondon Donga Jezere Dozo Gonla Boje Darze Yela Joju Yande Roda Jendo Yomo Nilu Leje Jado Doze Mare Munze Donga Yugu Jenye Jodze Raldeno Dene Daje Zaje Darz Yende Lezo Jaze Doe Joda Joda Joni Jen Dale Munze Jan Yala De Marabana Om Arabazanandi Seden Jeje Jeravazere Tale de Mumbarazane Kada Denje Sholo Dobai Lodre Bobe Nawazado Sul Ganze Dawar Deba Chungze Tiwar Denayang Kombo Jamyan Denyin Keme Baryan Duar Shu On laso Samba Chancho Chodo to the Bekolonge Saldam Sembar Shu Sembar Jawichu Yeribani Paldu Rumbaje Sungbi Chonjo Kamrimre Denila Saje Nabachi Yubinane Tananga Somba Jorwa Tela Parchinto Yubinane Tangaba Samdenje Parudo Chimbalete Yure Dinaneda Kazanga Trade in the Kalema Shugin.
Hello everyone. Let's generate pure motivation for our class. That is a mind of awakening bodhicitta, thinking that you will dedicate the studies for the sake of all beings, right? In order to bring them to the state of perfect awakening. And then in that spirit, listen to the teachings. We're studying a text which is a step-by-step guide to meditating on the Bodhicaryavatara. And there, among the 4 subjects, we have reached the 3rd one, which is concerned with the practices of the Bodhisattvas, how to follow the training of a Bodhisattva. And here we're looking at the 6 transcended perfections, the practices of the 6 paramitas, among which we have reached the 5th one, the paramita of meditative concentration. And that's what we will continue with today.
Nipa samden, nipa ngoshi samden kombala, kumsul mayandir, chanjub jisem kombala, ni takshin nyamba kombala, takshin chawa kombala, ni zungulu. Chidang das jine senamindo, samden seginde, kewi sem tsejigdu neba yindu, niko kewi sem tsejigdu chungna, niko samden cha dhugu yure. Tende dhugu yure, da kumdan naga mindo mangu shirare. Tenpa nyawar shaba shito nebo me nene yungure, da jir yungsu chaga ondo dana, paya chewe ngwa nangbo dine uk jingu nyego ne kumdan dende dang. Ane kazu kore da mikpa tsalya chedu. Ane ongbo konga shaba jigo ne yula mikpa tenne ane kumya dang. Ane ten meba dine yiyuldo dine kumya. Mikpa tsejidu tenne ane kumya dine yungu yubare.
Diten mepa.
Razo ten no cheba wangbo kongi mikpa ten anu komya da ten meba tene yiji ne yang kasu gore migyul kanya ru bajale yiji tene komya den de chin yung yo bare ta dinzo kare komba ina yang peje kazang shujo ji nyam nang dam da share yung yo ro korangi midun cho ta lelo dang chenge la so ba pang nyembo dujer yes gan da nyembo khashi temba na sheshin dang wa tender ni tenzo la so ba ji ni me ba ji tse ju du kom tak temba sheshin dumba zunre se gan zo mi genzo tunjen tenzo ya ten ani tene mutune kom yong du ani karso re nyam tene kya yore kasang ga zo nyam khashi shu ba nyam chi shu ba yo top kom den nyam ga she yore yo nyam 아니 남도 망보 샤레데리 리서치 법준 하셔 했으기래 아니 요 톱에 냠 아니 디로지가 가서 그래 양리 밥주 많이 맞아 리 서보 요살 쭉쭉인데 용다 리 강나도 쭉쭉나서 코페 팔로도 수도 사지 찍라 템템보도 두고 말와 빼 담요 깨주면 된다고 남도 엄마를 지나 때에서 용도 줘야 요래다 다돈이나 남도 락박 쇼충보 망보 샤르데베 갑라 토비 냠스 그래 다른 것들은 곰곰곰 로에 가면은 요도 곰비 냠슬레 그래 곰디 냠용 곰디 제비는 냠슬레 그래 곰디디 제당 사탕 약보 요살로 죽주 나셔래 다른 뭐 내때나 주들 항에 대교로체 냐담는 주도 배 쇼충보 되기도 와 남도디 곰도 자기 초진의 삼로당 연도에는 남도 매줘서 로지 야보 대도전 남도 망보 호불호 남도 망보 샤르데 그래 요또 곰바니 템베 대절라 냠이 쉐바디 템베 냠스가 질리 샤르요 그래 대냠데 그 낭원에 대 데라콜라 디야 말에 남도 나 요아딘데 산에 메바베 템보체 다치로 남도 중중 까깝라 요아 중데 영스 그래 데디 자조 나시래 야소데 가서 그냥 링원에 뭐마데 요아잔 야 말와 강강된데 테스트 구조 잡그래 아니 냠가바데 타르스메 냠다 디르원나신 가도 있는 양 템보 어다 디 냠가바 된저 레병도 아니 가서 되섬체지 봐서 저도 아니 신에 토병 그래 되섬체지 봐 토베 따라니 류신장 서근다 섬신장 서근데 토병 그래 류신장데 류하장게 대우 하장게 양보 가르치나 최초로 유배 라원여 버서로지 소소 나온데 셔 그래 근데 섬신장 섬데는 mikpa kawala shaana yang shabe rawa yoba. Mikpa tene, owa tende tobyongde samyang tene dewu, luyang dewu de namba che shar, owa tiri dosam tse je baa sigire. Tije tarong yang ta tene shun tiksara naso.
So we will continue with the text where we left off. Yesterday we covered adverse factors for the practice of meditative concentration. And today we'll continue with the second topic here, which is focusing on the objects of practice. Right now, we actually will look how to accomplish the paramita of meditative concentration. And here the text states that as regards the main practice of meditative concentration, there are many methods for meditation, but here the practice is to cultivate bodhicitta. This has two aspects, so on. So first we will look at the general, at the first statement that there are many methods for meditation, right? Generally, when we set to accomplish shamatha, or particular style of meditation, in other words, meditative concentration, which is one-pointed concentration on virtue. Whenever our mind is one-pointedly concentrated on any wholesome object, that would be meditative concentration, right? That would be, by definition, that state that we try to cultivate. And there are many techniques that we can employ in order to arrive at that state. For example, we speak of 4 applications of mindfulness, of body, feelings, mind, and all phenomena. And we also generally speak on, for beginners, one of the best methods is placing one's attention on the feeling of breath, in, out, right? So basically we start by taking a support. All of those meditations are known as meditation, shamatha practice with a support. So we have some object, material, or object of our sense faculties, like a sound. It could be a sound. It doesn't necessarily have to be material, right? It has to be a form. It could be a sound, could be smell, but there is something there. But there's also shamatha practice where we let go of all supports, of all objects of focus, and we just sort of stay attentive with ourselves, with our own mind. It doesn't go anywhere, and we are in the state of complete presence and being mindfully present with whatever arises, but there's no specific support, right? It's kind of like a mind stays with itself, basically. So when we go through these different practices, there are a few important points that we need to keep in mind, such as we always do them with the help of mindfulness, vigilant introspection, right? The checks when we are distracted and carried away. And mindfulness, right, is remaining mindful of the object of focus, is conscientiousness. We need to watch out for 5 shortcomings explained in the class yesterday. Remember those? And applying different antidotes. Actually, the text explained that there are 8 of different antidotes, but we didn't look at that. Anyway, whenever we practice in this way, taking a support or then letting go and just resting, being present with whatever arises, we go through different stages of experience in our practice. And I mentioned yesterday there are 5. And I mentioned only the first one. So let's look at the remaining ones so that it's like a landmark. When you reach there, okay, that's where I'm at in my meditation, okay? So the first experience, as we remember, hopefully, it's the experience of movement. And the analogy, because there's an example that illustrates each of the 5 experiences to help us to kind of picture it better. And the example here is that of waterfall cascading down the rocks. So it's really powerful, very noisy. And that's how we feel with our thoughts, with our minds when we start meditating. Noisy, with a lot of thoughts and discursiveness, very powerful presence right there. But the more we meditate, the more we gain what is known as the second experience, which is the experience of attainment. And to describe that experience is that there's an analogy of a gorge river, like a mountain gorge river. It's a river, it's not anymore waterfall, but it moves through the rocks, kind of rocks, right? That it's still, you can see movement, but it's not as powerful as a waterfall. So it's kind of like in terms of our actual experience with the mind, that we still have a lot of thoughts coming up, but less than in the beginning. So we can already see that there's still some coarse thoughts, right? There's still some coarse thinking, but much less compared to when we start practicing. So that's the second stage, attainment. mountain gorge river. The third experience is known as the experience of familiarity. The more we meditate, the more we develop one-pointed concentration, the more we become familiar, with calmness. And the analogy here is that of a river flowing through a valley. Basically, it is an illusion when we're far away that the river is not moving, right? It's far away, so it seems to be like right there, it's not moving. But when we come close, of course, we can see there's still some movement. It's river. There's still some current there. That's what happens with our minds. It looks like there are no thoughts because there are no coarse thoughts on the surface. But if we really stay present, we can see this like kind of a background noise of really subtle thinking. That's this third experience of familiarity. The fourth one is the experience of stability. And here we already have no movement of thoughts. It's not like first few experiences. It's basically an analogy of an ocean. There's still some movement, of course, there's still some movement, but like with oceans, we know that at the bottom of the deep ocean, there's no movement. It's like completely like an outer space, right? It's devoid of like movement. It's like really, really dark and calm. And so the really bottom of the ocean, that's kind of how it becomes for us. But of course, on the surface, there is some movement. But basically here, we don't have much of noise or thoughts or discursiveness in our minds, but there's still, of course, some movement. But it's like an ocean, much more calm. And the last experience is already experience of perfection, basically reaching perfection. The analogy is that of a mountain, like kind of really unmoving or unshakable mountain. And this is the fifth experience of perfection is reaching culmination. We can translate reaching perfection is this highest point in the desire realm, the one that was mentioned yesterday also, that in the desire realm with this one-pointed mind, the highest kind of the state of mind possible in desire realm. It's very, very calm, and basically two things happen there at that point. We gain what is translated as pliancy. It's a technical term, not sure how it's in Pali, but Xinjiang in Tibetan. But it affects our body and our mind. When we're in this state of, when we have perfected these 5 experiences, our bodies are very, very flexible, very pliant, kind of, not affected by many things in life, physically also. And our minds are, our minds are also pliant, meaning that whenever they take hold of any object of focus, they're able to engage with it as desired. Meaning you want to think of something, you think, you don't. There's a full control. Basically, mind is so pliant that you can send it to any direction and it will follow your own intention. And that mind is really, really in bliss. It's a very blissful state. Like it's complete ease in the body, bliss in the mind. Like this is the one-pointed concentration of the desire realm, the 5th experience reached through meditative concentration.
장주 지스는 검다 삼전 송구 요두 다들라네 다신 냠바의 검다체다 다신 제와 검다 니레 동고 요바래 다 당보 다신 냠바 검베데레도 당보네 다다 심전 탐전 대와 되냠 도직 동안 메도 반냠발라 다치부르 송제 신메송원데니 리바 마임베 다신 냠바 검거데스 다딩아조 당상세그런 셰그런 로안미 탐제 톱단 직발에서 나고로와 삼제 인쇄 강도 톱단 직발에 양상 시기로 다디나 방다 직발로와 그래서 삼전 인쇄 강도 아주 미나다 된저이나다 라이나다 이다이나다 냐와이나다 대화 도구 요바디 지부 지경으로 소소 대화 소소당 소소 초기 초라 대화 두고요. 근데 동할 면도 봐네. 지금 지냐래. 가시 이미 가시 동할 면도 봐요. 미 가시 대화 면도 건 요나 계제 가가 되는데 소지야요 말해. 내가 쭉쭉 삼로데 다음에 코르스 그래. 얘나양 당신이 팔 제가 삼로데 대화 되면 된다고 봐. 어디 대치고 지냐래 되요. 근데 있나 아니 가지고 가서 그런 나랑 초장마를 송교 야부체 나랑 초장마를 네 가서 그래 팬도바 야부체 네 현대조다 가르잖아 차스는 주도면 요시하는 릭사를 배워서 그래 릭사 말아 와서 가서 상마 대화 톱도 요 다냠래도 와서 그 방법도 내지 무슨잖아.
But here, in the context of the studying this text, but the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, the author Shantideva, when it comes to meditative concentration, this paramita, he explains how to practice practice meditative concentration by cultivating bodhicitta, right? So not like a general techniques that are quite general for all the different types of Buddhism, but here it's this unique approach, right? Cultivating bodhicitta, and through that developing meditative concentration. So here there are two aspects. This practice has two aspects. First is the meditation on equalizing oneself and others, and second is the meditation on exchanging oneself for others. So the first one, let's look at the first meditation. It says here that we must recognize how unreasonable it is that we care only for ourselves and not for others, since we are the same as others in wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. Meditate, therefore, on the equality of oneself and others. Now, these days we are quite aware of the human rights, right, and of this basic right of every human being. In Buddhism, we also speak of this kind of a predicament, this rights, we can say, of all sentient beings. So not only humans, but animal, gods, hell beings, all are equal in this kind of sharing the same basic predicament of wanting to be happy and not wanting to suffer. We say that all beings are alike in that fundamental wish of theirs. Of course, we might think, well, but some seem to be like not really wanting their own happiness, right? But it's like, yeah, on the surface, sometimes there's this different thoughts, kind of people can have different, outlooks, views. But if you dig, if you scratch that surface, you will see that deep inside they still wish their own for their own well-being. Everyone wants to be safe. Everyone wants to be liked, well, happy. It's like this kind of like deep inside of everyone. Sometimes, of course, we have a bad day and we sort of might appear we don't care for ourselves. But in reality, there's still this wish. And since everyone has the same wish, the question here is that it's okay to only care for oneself, right? Kind of if all sentient beings are equal to us in desiring happiness and wishing not to suffer, does it make sense to only look after ourselves and not others, right? That's kind of the question here. And the answer already also came in the text that it makes no sense to do that, to only look and only care for oneself.
다도 신도 냠만데 당분이도 배대콤 대다 동할 냠만데 탐제 다시 송버자 시 송버다 토마 다시 냠비 장주 선 고모선다데 돈다치 버려도 다시 냠바데 과 당분도 곰고래서 그래서나 항아서 랑당 신섬전 탐제 히 유라 대월시보 닝보 여바데 찍보지냐래 카시기 대월시보님 뭐 상어다 카시 대월시보님 뭐도 내바데 여마래 대월시보님 뭐 상은 매바다 여바 다냠래 아니 대라 로르지 테마 여바양 다냠래 테마 대살도 롱와양 다냠래 테마 살야라 안 가서고래 교단 젠든도 내가 여매양 다냠 차고요래 다 교jen지 배주 제 맞지 장만 잡아라. 근데 이제는 가서 랑 나신 섬전 담지. 랑시 랑니 나신도는 송거래서 되는 송고도. 제 송바다로 통바 다시 냠비 장주시선 검거래서. 나서 이렇게 지금 저버려도.
And now comes a quote to basically back up what was just said. So the quote reads, "The thought of the equality of oneself and others is to be cultivated in the beginning with exertion. Since we are all equal in terms of happiness and suffering, we should care for everyone as we do ourselves." So this is exactly what we have talked about, that all the beings are alike in their fundamental wish to be well and happy, and so we need to then cultivate the sense of equality in terms of happiness and suffering for all beings. And out of that understanding of equality, then what should come out is this care for everyone, as we care for ourselves. So we should protect all beings and care for them as we do ourselves. And another reason is that, reason we can say, another thing we can reflect on is that all beings also share the seed for awakening. Everyone has that potential to reach full, awakening. This see that potential known as this kind of Buddha nature. But of course, some people don't know about Buddha. So just like nature for awakening, it permeates everyone equally. It's not like that some got it good and others got it bad. Like, oh, for them, their seat is so bad. It's really same for everyone. And everyone has absolutely equal possibility to clear away all the obscurations and stains that obscure that seed for awakening. Everyone has that, everyone has what it takes to reach that full awakening. The only difference is that not everyone exerts themselves in that pursuit of purifying the stains and obscurations and letting their, awakening manifest. But otherwise, we are all alike, right?
대수 대달고에 남게 다다는 섬전 탐조 다게 파만 년술 마주르바 가야메데 법을 주기 마이 장다 자숙 세고 참 널부 정자 사이 랑만 제수베 롱당사 다데 간데 공거라서는 겁나 롱라 섬도다나 네 알아서 섬전 탐조 소소제 파만 마제바 제데네 다 가서 엄마가서 장주제 섬거전 휴연바 다라래도 대한인바들 루트지 가르송도 네 섬진지 소소지 파마자바 가소저선 장가서선 쓰줘야 말이야서 근데 변나 사지 첨부주 둘 상망가서 저 일부선네 슈바지 대우 일부 도도 축축노 내려오지 일부서 가르쳐봐이나 사상마 조스기래서 섬진지 나저지 파마자주제 장가서에 다른 하도 그래서 그래 다 섬진 레레레 된다저는 장가서서나 아니 휴지 자여와 대체상 섬정 탐조 소조 파마 맞아 봐 제냐 매버래 된대 말랭고는 뭐시 고고도 스타 롱데 데레샤 나서
As these states in the beginning meditate on the bodhicitta of equalizing oneself and others. This is done in the following way. Sentient beings are as infinite as space itself, and yet there is not a single one who has not been our own father or mother or dear friend. So as the Master Nagarjuna said, if each mother in the lineage of if each mother in the lineage of mothers were considered as a ball the size of a juniper seed, the whole earth could not contain their number. So this is something that we have already looked at, this notion that all beings have been our parents. We have looked at that in the chapter of taking a vow. So Khenpo already mentioned that. And so here also Master Nagarjuna explains that if we were to take all the mothers that we have ever had in all of our lifetimes, right? Kind of, and if we were to make this kind of seeds or balls, the size of a juniper seed, like, really small, we can say balls, even if we make this, amount of balls of equal number to our mothers, the earth could not contain it, right? So that's how many we have had in all of our lifetimes. So this is just an illustration by means of a quotation from Master Nagarjuna.
Rungdang Rigbe Semchen Tamje Rangi Nyedur Takchela. Tene Song Tala Dewa Jeba Nasemchen Tamje Taki Dewa Nang Devi Kudi Dawu Nang Temba Kyuri Che Shetakpane Kom. Yang Tala Tungal Jeba Na Tata Semchen Tamje Tungal Da Tungal Di Kudi Dawu Nang Chalvar Kyuri Nyamdo. Nyingi Kong Rubi Ting Neng Kom Musungre. Chidata Rigbe Kuna Samnadang Yundi Tas Semchen Soso re ne sozo je pa ma cheba me bare ma cheba me bare nyen ne gor ma cheba ne ro chok ma cheba me bare ndu chezang semje yongzo sozo ji tene pa ma punja nyen ne gor ba ta che shan ne ge do sa tene indu ta tene ta che ye ba inzang tete so na sozo la tene ka pha je la dewa dan ki bo dang ne phon so ba ji ne jawa ne yabu ji yong se ge re te je ka so tene sozo kari sam dang la ase 나랑 단다 대화는 기부 중송 대 대화는 데비 규가르레서 네 레야 부체레 그러와 페나 단다 페 나우스 심베카블이나 나우스 레가 가르제레 다탕 나우스 심베 다 갑수 나우스 제 레가 제상고 나우스 바당 기부 중으로와 몰라 당제 당수 제비 카부 자료디 또 나우스에서나 내 소분이야 당수인 거다 당수비 데우데 나우스 발라 수비 줄라든데 중소화 디도 나랑라 된데 대화 규든데 줍상 근데 데우디로 토샤 디 규양 말 개와든데야 제스지레 다 규견 망보 용초 그래 아니 다 섬전 상만 되낭신 대화도 기부지 용어 쇼스 그래 다 대화 담만데 망보 용초 그러와 가리 대화이난 디 낭신 대화다 니단 대위 규는 개와라서 섬전 탐지 전에 지마롱 섬전 탐지 되나지 용어죠 섬전 탐지 되다 용어야 자와 서지는 게 진짜 랍시 내양 섬전 탐지라 되나지 용어야 전에 가서 그래 탑람 된줄라 무슨 제게 냠버로지 거면에 아니 양 소소로 깝가지라 동알당 강에 되네 스트레스 그래 강에 되네 스트레스 양 소소 되네 섬로단 강에 동알 도리 뭐네 섬탄에 류라양 가서 그래 강에 섬나야 강에 담다 연구도 와 다 강에 된데디 나랑 라강은 가져요 봐 찍버지냥 현 섬잖아요 여러 와 내 강에 되다오지 콘솔랬나 다오다오지 땡땡 용도 거래 땡땡 다 섬전 챵바 상마 되나지 동알당 동알디 규된당세 짠내 콘솔라 네 마중 와쇼 라양 아조페나 소불라 내 나조 휴총보지래 명무에는 대규 가르래라나 네고 나조 세단 줘반이라와 사야 만릭바당 류기 구조자단데 조세거와 쫄람 류자라소바지 네바데 마당와당 다 축세타발라소바 다 디견나 때네 또 세주니나 때네 나조 나자담을 레베요와 왔다 섬전 다 디데 내가 비켄스나미도 규데레 때네 다른 야에 규 대서나 네 레케와다 디바담을 세 규로와 어 텐데제니 동알데 규데라고 섬전 탐절라 매버쇼지 전에 그런 동알 된데지 마라와쇼 콘존이 만용어 규지 만용어 자와서진 남지 진제 롭시 내양 콘존라 될 만용어와 용해제 탑시 강로도 지긴 된데지네 양나야는 검거래서 때다 일함 삼라당 와서 많이 봐 샘딩네 검거래 샘딩 탱마 찍니 쥐고래 강보 담보 맞춰 발로 연금 말해 되는 제마 곰 제용도 아니 랑신지 쥐매가 봐 아니 닝제지 다 잠바된다 닝제된데 아니 교라게 연구 요소래 Also.
The text then continues and it says, with such quotations and through reasoning, we can determine that all sentient beings have been our close relations. Then, whenever we experience happiness, we can cultivate this thought from the depths of the depths of your heart. May all beings find such happiness and its causes. And likewise, whenever we experience suffering, we can cultivate the following wish from the very core of our bones. May I and all beings be free from suffering and its causes. If we, for different reasoning and, believing in the past, future lives, understanding that in those lives we have taken birth because of our parents. So then we have many relations, right? We actually all interconnected between all beings in this very intimate way. Some of them have been our close friends, some have been our family members. And if we resolve that, if we kind of determine that, then whenever we look at those sentient beings and see that, their experiences, good and bad, we can turn that into practice. We can make it our practice. So in what way should we then go on with this practice? Well, we can start with identifying our own experience. So whenever we, for example, come to know that we are happy, right? We have done something good or some kind of goodness led to our genuine happiness. Well, we can say if we worked hard and then we were tired and we just relaxed and chilled and really, recuperated and sort of got better and stronger and suddenly we feel so good, right, from our rest. Let's say that's the cause. Of course, there are many causes and conditions that have to come together. It's never like one thing that results in other thing. It's many, conditions have to be also present. Like, let's say we relaxed and then we feel so good. Well, we can take that moment and think that, wow, all beings who have, with whom I share this kind of intimate connection, who have been my close relations, right? All of them, may they also be happy as well. And may they also gain, may they also obtain genuine causes for their genuine happiness. And here happiness, of course, we don't, mean some particular form of happiness, like how we think happiness is. Of course, happiness comes in so many different shapes and forms, so to say. And we just wish them to be happy. We don't necessarily particularly picture what that happiness is or how it's supposed to look like. But we just genuinely wish them to be well. Like, wow, how great it would be if they also, I feel so good now. How great it will be that everyone felt like this right now, right? And not only that, may I also strive to make sure that they will feel great, that they will experience happiness. Also, let me dedicate my energy, my time to that pursuit of being happiness. And sometimes we don't feel so great. We find ourselves in pain, some kind of suffering, mental, physical. And, I think, well, there are also causes and conditions for that, right? It didn't come without causes and conditions. So it's a result of something, maybe my mind, I have mental anguish and anxiety. And so at that moment, we should think like, well, I'm not alone in this. Countless beings, they also experience so many different forms of suffering, discontentment, pain, misery, right? So may this never happen to us. May this never happen. May I never suffer. May they never suffer, right? May they never be separated from genuine happiness. May these kind of things never befall them. For example, if we're physically unwell, we ate something, right? We just feel physically weak. And at that moment, we might think, okay, I'm unwell, there are some causes for this, I'm feeling really, bad and sick. So may this never happen to others. May they never experience this kind of ailments. May they be always happy. May they be always free of this kind of fate. Right? And we don't say that or kind of think that only as a passing thought. Well, that's not going to transform our being. We really need to cultivate this kind of thinking from the depths of our heart, as it says here in the text. Also, it has to come from like kind of from the very core of our bones, from like marrow of our bones, like from the bottom of our hearts. We really have to wish for others to be happy and to be free of suffering. At first, those kind of thoughts might be a bit contrived and not very sincere. That's fine. That's how it is at first. But the more we, think along those lines, the more we really cultivate this kind of thinking, reflection, the more it will become sincere. And so it's just a matter of time and habit to arrive at the place where we really sincerely have a heartfelt wish for others to be happy and them to avoid suffering. And so we can take our own life situations to then, right, cultivate these kind of thoughts.
Tese sambala kedi do kesede dage tunga salwala salwa shenla mere shenji tunga salwa dage merum nyambi lo nyamba nintuji lo ke naasa chunjula mongba yu tunga da nume chida chidar sung she sung bada rangi je nangbar penche je neme bada se goyo la sobe tobe beba chide che dake che ki ngane te penche shendu gyuru chiru osa tende kapsu ten ngaso yang namdo tende kesi gire ani to mi gansa sama sozo ji dedu de sozo che kurwa nge kange chungso na narangi selwe tabche tangure mi shenje kange chungna korangi selwe tabche tangure narang kibo chungna narangi kyabsang re korang kibo chungna korang kyabsang re sozo mado ba chigi la roho che ko ba chigi la pendo san tende de kawa yung gire sama sozo che kurwa ten ngaso namdo tende jen kesi girwa tende jen namdo che du enik de kapsu kare 가서 다디 갑자기 가리 정거를 쓰던 데네 양 말해 세베게 저래 지든 탐제 땡들 와 저 탐제 땡들 인도잖아 내 찍질라 레게 말해 찍질라 레 고고 말해 데네 챙게 요래데 돈도 지든 감 탐제 찍질라 절로 요대 요래 찍질라 만절 외쳐 가야 말해 나도 나랑 좀 미율 데라 체크바디 파말라 라레도 와 파마야 미율 중에 될 코랑게 파마된 줄 알아래게 근데 단단 가랑서 가서 오래 찍이질 깨제셔야 되네 여번에 타잘 알아래기도 타잘된 양견 신라라래게 다 된대 낭편서 다음에 견다 파도 최대 되네 제인데 폐제 낭편서 저 요대요래 저 매베 찍기 저 짠 맞아 발 신도라 펜토에 당 찍기 네번 맞아 발 신다 뇌에서는 연구요 말해 참아 낭편서 절 되게 상 아니 되네 저 삼도 당기요 말해 배나 나저 상니기 강에서 근데 대련 연구 말어 상니 나저 시에서 그래 네바 차서 그래 가양 용서 그래 내저 가양 용서 그래 대 강에 내서도 단한 연구도 담면도는 단한 연구야 말해 얘네 상니 강에 민용도 탑신 가서 단단한 땅으로 리자 가르친 적이 그래 상니는 이제 제만 내 나저 민용도 탑으로 와 아니 다 다가나진도 롭중도 가르친 적이 그래 제만 시야지도 단단한 롭중 제보다 단단한 시에서는데 용배 땡땡게 요 말어 상니 나니 마음배치는 아주 단단한 깔래 잡고요 마음바 단단 대도 딘소 단단 연구 맨나 주 단단한 차도 제거도 와 대다 저마 섬진 현재 동안 소소 냥어요 요 말에 소소 대화 현재는 용어요 요 말에 대 저거도 나 지기절 견전에 편도야 요와 아주 나저 지금 편도네 강연설에 편도고 요런 대화 토비에 편도고 요래 근데 인도에서는 아주 지기질라 저 가르친 제고 말해 근데 저 제고 받을 거나 랑신로 와서 배나 나도 가르쳐 나랑도 수부지라 삼로당다 전주 코랑 자원나도 된대요 봐 나도 수부지라 삼로당다 나도 수부지 전도에나 강가지 만져나 나 가르쳐 버려 랑 고디발라 지금 뭐당 된대 주고나 락베 배주당 거와 데데발 잘라도 지샤고나 락베 배주당 거 강바 락발 펜도 거 락베 강발 펜도 거 미기 강발 펜도 거 강베 미글 펜도 거 수부지라 삼로당나야 지그질로 더 제거도 와 단내 저랑 칸나나 질료에다 락바지 로바 차서 추주 동고나 락바지 배주마다나 양 나도 테스칼레 여러와 락베 로바 체고 그래 근데 저거 경해라 카이 로바 체고 그래 대 다워지네 섬지 남편도 지그질로 더 제고는 멤버지 네발로 더 제거를 네베 멤버로 더 제거를 남편도 지그질로 더 제는 지된데 줘야라 마도 봐 소소소소 인람나 된 제가 가이만 가서 칸 제라게 말해 나랑도 상마단다 소부제의 판매 중샤주래 돌로 공연전에 총강 내려줘래 지그 참마 지그 절대도 총강지 총바든도 총야부 차야 되는 미 녀근 고그래 녀근지 돌로 공연로 총배 총종 고그래 남편도 지그질라 펜토 고고도 와 어데인데 인데 지그질라 라와 잡으면서 말해 지그질라 펜토 고그래 스비게진 인사래 나서
Then the text reads, at this stage, it is possible that an obstacle might arise in our thoughts. We might develop a Shravaka attitude, thinking, I will dispel my own suffering without expecting anything from others, but I will not work to dispel the suffering of others. Yet, as the introduction to the way of the Bodhisattva says, why guard against future pain if it does not harm me now? As it is says, why do we exert ourselves acquiring good health, food, clothing, and so on for the future? So it might happen that we will think, well, I will take care of myself and protect myself from my own suffering, and other beings suffering is not my problem. And also my happiness is, it's my gain, their happiness is their gain. Their suffering is their problem, it's not mine. I am only concerned with my own suffering, right? We might think like that. And, it's might be something that we think, well, that's how things are. But actually, it's not the case. If we think about how things truly are in the world, everything is interdependent. We are not here like only on our own, really completely independent of other beings, right? Sort of made it here without relying on anyone. Who, and others also, right? Their own like independent entities that no one can affect them. Well, this is not the case, right? Everything is interdependent. We are all interdependent and connected. We came by, thanks to our parents also from their parents, but also there were so many other teachers and people who helped us to get here. We wouldn't be here if it's not for the help of others. We just wouldn't survive and make it here. And also we speak to each other, we understand each other. This happens because of, development that also we didn't sort of happen to have these communication skills. It's all happened because we were in society and we all affect each other. We all affect what we do, what we say. There's a lot of repercussions and it affects everyone. Our actions, and we depend on others, others depend on us. And here it also there's an example of the future self. If we think, we are not interdependent and we just this kind of not autonomous entity, and then why do we work so hard for the sake of the future self? Why do we exercise so that the self will be healthy later? Why do we get education? Well, again, for the sake of the future self, right? And that didn't happen yet. There's no, the experience of future suffering and happiness not happened yet. And yet we're already preparing ourselves for that, for this future self, whoever it will be, actually. It's not even us necessarily right now, will be our future self. And in the same way, we can and affect other beings. We can work hard and benefit, help others, and it's not unreasonable. Actually, it's not unreasonable at all. It's actually kind of in the nature of things that we are all doing this already. Like, our body functions in this way. It's not just one single entity. It's many things that help each other, right? If we have a thorn, and this comes from the root text of the Way of the Bodhisattva, if we have a thorn, we pierced ourselves. It's the hand that's going to come down and remove it, helping the leg. If a snow fell on our head, it's the hand that's going to remove it, right? Different body parts depend on each other. Like, I took a piece of apple. Khenpo said, you see, you can feed yourself thanks to your hands. And the same, it's all helping each other, all the different body parts. And actually, the whole universe is this like big organism, kind of like the same, like our bodies, one organism made of many parts that help each other, right? The blood is pumped, everything works in this very intricate way. And the whole universe is like that too. And we as living beings in the universe also form this one organism where we cannot make here without relying on other beings. And they cannot also survive without relying on others. We all interdependent. When we go to a doctor helps us, but we also help doctor. No one sick, well, also doctor won't make living. Or like, okay, let's think of clothes. We wear clothes, we rely on it. Everyone has some kind of attire, right? So we need those beings who made it for us, who transfer it, and salesman who sells it, and they rely on us. But we rely on them as well, and they rely on someone else for their sustenance and living, and those rely on others. And we all actually do rely on each other, and we need each other to make it. Same with the food. Someone grew it, someone transferred, someone sold, we bought, and we help them, they help us. And in this way, the whole, universe functions in a way that helping each other already. Otherwise, we wouldn't have survived as species. And this is such a natural thing. It's not natural to think, oh, I'm just here by myself, no one ever helped me, and then I'm not going to help anyone. Well, you wouldn't be here, period. So we need to acknowledge that it's very natural for us to depend on others and to their kindness, and so also others depend on our kindness. And in this way, we are all interconnected. Nothing in this world is independent. Everything is interdependent and dependently originated. And we need to keep this in mind when we think, when we might think, oh, I'm not going to care for others.
Tela de nyamdo marik pe pa cha ki number penje ja ta yunu nyamdo chul de chunjul le ta ge ten nyong nyambe number to bu lo ba de ne de che wang chen ni la chi wa yin ni xin yin xie song ba da ro sa che de ta yang arang zu den de chi hin ne kom den ne sam ba bang de yang ga zo nam do den de ten se ge re ti mi xian bang 지그질라 펜세근데 용기 여주를 이나 강사카가 와 계랑당한이 강사카가랑 아주 상만 로가로로 와 나랑 들은 깔래 잡네 가르쳐 그래 내가 상제 중서근데 나랑으로 와내 락베 배저다는 내 칼라 룩서도서는 나랑으로 와내 강배 공부하는 전에 사자 카갈래 받은 나로 와 차선 도켄 나래 랩켄 나래 깔래 제번 나래 저 나랑을 상만 나랑 인천도 무슨 된대지 남도 레그로 나나 세근데 레그도 아니 결혼 랍저디 나다 셴니 직바로 계제 셰기도 되니 다기 말에 되니 그냥 나랑 저 삼로로 되네 크루베 값수 아니 전전한 가르송으로 선디 다 나zo 나 섬전 탐지기 견체쇼도 다 되라나 세근더라나 짐바디 상제다 장주 선만 뭐 가르지는 상제에서도 셴 나zo 상마 뻗지기질은 넣어요 봐 어딜었더니 건조 상제버에 건조 사나 남주에는 더버에 샘진서 동al 가르진 용서 나나나 송대거래 소소 대화 숙체 되 지기여래데 중로 친구요 말 배는 가서 데로 차대로 락발라 마지 서바제 마데 되는 다야 탑실 양자로 라바들 대상나 라발로 마스 말 때는 대나 말 팽그로 숙체를 숙체제 작으로 다른 데 이야기도 좀 가져주는 마 나서도 숙체제 작으요 다 대화 내가 비 대화 투베셔도 깔래 자고요 데 국강한테 새로 조용도 다른 다가나 하되 가서 선정 상마 되나전전 하되 되네 상제다 장조 상바데 되네 나지 말아 나는 가서 상마 직바 단념 아니 랑래 현재 제와다 랑래 현재와다 올래 연구도 되네 전에 내 연구도 가서 타르파 토베 당 동할 용의 상마 타로토벨 객토베 제당 동할 용의 규든 상마 나르진데래 나 세컨드 땀 땅아조 상바제 타타타 라브로 다 베드는 바 롱바 샴바지나 막래 민고도 콘정 가서 차레스 롱바 샴바는 가서라더니 총제 칼레테송 콘정 가서 제 차레스 롱바 가서 가서 럭바 딘데딘데 레가 제라 버제단 콘정 가서 차레 내 김제 낭 편조야 직지 다 아니 민모셰 낭 편조야 직지라 다 찍으러 가서 날 내바게도 라기래 오늘 다들 말해서 그래 다들 다 전부 넘버 다 전부 다 가르고 다나 세컨드 넘버 또 버디 당원에 들어 나르진데로 와 나르진데 빵소나 카와라 예나 다요 말해 다 소소 낭나로 와 칠로라 짠는 얘기 말해 나르진데 마본데 나도 다 칠로 나 주고 되기로 와 파조데 다른 얘기 다른 숨 다른 강에도 소소지 나르진 때는 도자 셔던 데게 되바디 도로 마체 민도 바딘조 랩 데니 데켄데 미샴바레 전 파조라 치고 견주고 요래 소소 나르진데 파방다 데 강가 참마 매바자도 그래 강가 매바자도 가도 얘는 대신 기바래 된데 있는 거죠 견당단데 정말 송스게 되저래 찍나 단다나 상니가 제대갑성나 시대가 있는 내 말했어 그래 나 인정데 나랑도 너르대 다디 가서 나서 통보데 윤로 깨지를 요르도 그래 깨지게 윤 인도잖아 방법 집이 내가 깨지게 윤데 가서래 다들 되지 윤정내 대여마도 뭐 테라네요 말아 단지 진짜 고수백까지 나서지 나서 선정으로 와. 네 나서지 균들에마도 뭐 단단한 나서지 말해. 깨지카지 진짜 조백까지 나서지 균지라마도 뭐 나서 말어 와. 네지 균들랑아서 송 탐지가서 계획가서 나시오 가서 나서 좀 찍인 좀 뭐다 균조도 되래 되래. 근데 댕아진데 방고도 숨겨서래. 나서
As the text then explains, we are actually seizing every moment, and in the next moment we become an other. At this point, due to the habit of ignorance, we may think that the future one is also us, but that would simply be delusion. It is just as the introduction to the way of the Bodhisattva says, but I will be the one who suffers, you say, but it's wrong to think this way. This I will presently cease to be, and later another will be born. So we might think that habitually that, well, it's me who will strive to achieve, let's say, enlightenment, and it will be me who will become a Buddha, right? And it's me who went somewhere, and it's me who then arrived somewhere. So I exert myself, I get the result, right? This is kind of how we think. And it's not the case as the Bodhicaryavatara says. Actually, our thinking like that is our biggest fault. Thinking like what? Thinking that there's this self, there's this truly existing kind of permanent, enduring self from moment to moment, right? And it's really this kind of idea, this grasping to this fiction of an I, self, that keeps us in this kind of circle of suffering. Yes, sometimes we do, because we try to work so hard for the sake of this so-called self, we do have some results, but it's temporary relief. And later, actually, it's not going to bring us anywhere. Like if we have a wound on our arm and we it's really itchy and we scratch it, we feel like, oh, temporary relief, but God, it's only getting worse, actually. We're only making it worse. So this kind of temporary relief or, scratching is like what we do in samsara when we work for the sake of ourselves only. Yeah, it seems to be bringing about some results, but ultimately it only propels our future suffering. Beings, if we understand that beings are not different, if we think, well, we don't care about them and kind of leaving them behind, or no, and only caring for ourselves, this is going to create only our own suffering. And understanding that we are all alike and we all are equal, so kind of practicing this equalizing self and others will help us to get out of this cycle of existence, cycle of suffering, this kind of loop that we go through. This kind of self, the idea of self, is really our main problem. Often we think our enemy is this other country that invaded us. It's this other rivalry businessman who stole our clients. Is this maybe even family members who are saying this and doing that? And we're constantly pointing finger elsewhere, thinking that's our problem. But our main problem is this ego clinging, this idea of this precious I, and that's what gets so hurt by others, and that's why the suffering, are there. Not because others do something or inflict harm upon us. It's really because we are clinging to this ego, to the self, so tightly, so dearly. If we just like drop this whole narrative of this self and as the most precious thing and this kind of truly existent thing, then wherever we go, we won't have enemies. We'll be fine no matter what happens in our lives, really. So we kind of misplace this blame. We point fingers on others and blame them for our misfortunes, but we should really turn inwards and blame this kind of grasping to the self. That's the main troublemaker. That's really what creates all this problem. Well, if you think, well, but there is the self. It's really there. It's been there when I was born. It will be when I die. It's right here and now, listening to the teachings. This is a misconception. It happens due to ignorance and the habit of ignorance, kind of imputing that, that a notion of self, this kind of just a created fiction. Because if we really investigate, we meditate and we look and try to find the self that's really endures from moment to moment, we won't find it. The moment we were born, that ceased, that's gone. It's a different moment. It was, different self. The moment when we're here, started the class, right? An hour ago, there was the self that came to the class. It's gone. It's no more there. And the one that will, be at the end of class is another. It's not us. It's gone. We might think that there is this continuum, but in reality, our aggregates that really construct us, this physical body, this consciousness, right, the feelings, emotions, all of that is already, it changes moment by moment. Nothing endures, not a feeling, not a thought, not a physical sensation. Everything constantly changes in our body. So it really becomes another moment by moment, right? And this kind of to impute the so-called self on the continuum of those moments is just a fictional idea that we impute. There's no self in each of the moments. There's no self as one big self that kind of that can be imputed on the basis of the continuum of those moments. So that's kind of what the text explains here. It's a mistake to conceive of that and to work only for the benefit of self when actually, there's no self.
Perna lumba ta babchu te naning ne kwechoro nyamadang nambar chu de kalo nyamda sa meja naning kwechoro chu te yang shenyin la nambar ka chu te yang shenyin no te shin do de be samja pa ma yin la maung be samja pa ma yin mar shenyin no sa tene indu ta ngarang so changme pheje dene tengge yore chuchile sona naning gyukchu de yana babchu de sajala ngalle ba yin tirean lebar naning chu de nge tolo de che gore tanla nga chu de tolo cher chu ge me nga sabza chinga nga zo tengro wa 달로 nga chude naning chude kalne chimbai 달로 yang kalne dogin ot naning chude la lamga samba mido 달로 samba duk sam nga zo teng chude dang ane 달로 통be chude ni jigin tengre 사자 지글라 chimbai nga zo daran tengre tengge yore de 야보 삼로다나 디라레베선 마라와 추데칼라 고에 돌로데마 쿠르 추 키르는 돌로마 도그로와 그는 자조 람렘 코케지케 증가네 가오가슬로 신사레 디 추기 리다 윤 카가질레 빙교레 지진은 디 윤코라 인교 말에 코 엄마지 추기 윤데 가서를 주심 코 강내 밥 연구도다 신동제 자원의 레 연구도다 또는 사자 가원의 레 연구도 주 카가지 되는 코 밤에 레게 여러 마도마 대초 사자디 디 윤인교레 추데 카가로와 어디인데 매 로가레데요레 다가 낭신데 가랑 소지 고숨산나면도 SM라 람나다 상마 다가 낭신데 쓰기레 나도 덴지 칼마카신 건 예삼로디 샘데나 단자 샘니데 지그레서 나도 쟁그로와 때 젤베 샘면 지그레 쟁그로다 덴지케지 시지 지와르도 지그레 쟁그로도 뭐네 말에 샘지 윤데로와 지금선은 삼도 직보 지장 연구를 율 직보 지장 시행고 그래 민도와 엄마 삼도 당당도 가가요래 율량 가가래 단다 삼도 당당도 가가래 율 가가래 제마 삼도 당당도 가가래 율 가가래 율 율진 재단 상만 요라 되버와 깨지를 요르도 그래 깨지를 다다다다 가가자도도 와 karma chik nala kaso kaka chak dhugu yore, kaso gyura tebu yore, nga zo yabu samlo tanda ha kuku tubu duwa. Tende sangma chik ra chengende nga rang zo nor ware, ngone tanda di taa ma yinsa, nga rang yinsa na sangma nga yi ngola chik yo ko gyurwa, tende de mendo, lamsa na zo gyuru dhugu du. Wa tende samlo tanda, ani sangma nga rang yin, sangma nga chik yin chayandi, tende lo tende kale chundu do sikire. Taa dinzo dame gyuko lo keche de lewu choba kaso 시럽 컵을 내빈 거로 와. 바진 조박 컵. 다 된데 제주 가서 단다 소소 신내 삼된 되는 다 장주제 삼된 검도 연나. 근데 당보 가서 그래 잡도 제 중점마다 연락도 뭐 상마 제 연락도 뭐 상마 제사 보질 아니 가서 그래 삼제지 네 단다 장주제 삼 검면 냠린 되잖아. 그래. 대면은 양 당보 잡도 제 dordu chena ani samje dordu chigche tene shene ani changju je sam komela ngozu dogura changju sam ngozu do yin ani nyama chigni na da karm tane tak nyamar tangbo kam chonga nishu yana chozo chigni sozo ju dozo da timba le tangbo wa yana dozo ringbo chene yabu yo mare karma chonga ne nishu bardo da darwa le tangbo wa yana ta kwam mangbo chabe nyamnyong yogni na tene yang korang da do chozo nin kang 가서 전한 데를 대리를 안 했고 디검 거고도 와 가서 그래 당보 다진 자고 다진 냠 거고도 안 가란다 선전 통제 아니 냠바 임베인다 아니 선전도 소소제 파마 임베 냠바 이 당보 다진 냠바 지고 냠마 가져 겁나 야고요 다진 나당 선전 통제 대화도 바당 동알 민도 바당 나라 대화 여바나지 신라 대화 여래 나랑 동알 여바나지 신라 여바 다디 아니 tene 가서 그래 가서 상마 길 대신 뭐 여비요당 어디 장장 녀마카시 근데 대삼로당 녀마카 아니 녀마카시 대삼로도 어 잡으잖아 아니 선전 상마에 되는 소소제 파마 임바 소 년년 거래 임바 대장장라야 녀마카시 삼로당 tene 년년 거래 임바 삼로 대고 파마 년년 거래 임바다 파마 임바 보고 수사고 tene 딜라 삼로당 어 잡으잖아 tene 나저 찍게 절 팬도 체크 그거 봐. 팬도 체크 그거 디발라서 뭐 팬도 때는 나랑 셴 나다 셴라 가르전 팬도 체크 말아서 디서마 디냠도 삼로던 데그와 데데 삼로 먹고 다는 줘야래. 단다디 제단 신의 망체와 삼로 셔라다 야 말해. 나 단다 다그진 장주지 삼 다신 저다 냠먹음도 삼로던 줘야래. 도와. 영다지 신의 망체와 삼로 참조 전에 시작을 단다 디 삼도 도스탄도 저 신내 검다 탑셰 메도 그래 다디 되는 소소지 툰마 차 렌두 아니 랑다 신지 두좀도 소비 계사 담제 찍도 되네 아니 뭐지 제 되는 참샤는 되게 양 툰셔마 고주적으로 와 되네 되는 도나 안 찍자는 판도서 그래
That's a lot. Then the text reads, for instance, foolish people think, these are the rapids in which I lost my coat last year, or this is the river I crossed yesterday. But the water of last year that swept away the coat is other than the water of the present, and the water forded yesterday is also different. In exactly the same way, the mind of the past is not us, and the future mind is not us either, but something different. Oh, I guess this is something that all of us might think, right? This kind of thought that we succumb to, like, oh, my clothes were swept away by this stream last year, right? We kind of, oh, I crossed this river yesterday, or I will cross this river tomorrow, actually. So, but if we think a little bit, if we think carefully, also, we'll see that the stream that carried away my coat, my clothes last year is not the one that I am seeing right now, right? And the water I crossed is not the one that I'm seeing, or the water I will cross tomorrow is not the one that I'm seeing right here. It just requires a little bit of careful reflection, and we will see that, it's different. Like the stream is not the same. The stream that carried away my coat is already in the ocean. My coat is there, the stream of water is there. It's not here, it's not this one, it's gone. Maybe it's not even the same continuum of the stream. Maybe last year streams dried up and now it's new one came from, right, from the roots of the fruit trees. It's kind of like whole another water that came over the year, and it's not the same even stream. So likewise, our minds, our bodies, our feelings, emotions, perceptions, everything likewise changes moment by moment, like a stream of water, right? Even a moment ago, the stream that we have seen is not the one that we're seeing now. And the same is with our thoughts, with our bodies. The thought that we had a moment ago, the mind that we had a moment ago is not the one that we're having now, and it's not the one we'll have in the future, right? It's the thought that we had, and then the object of thought, what we thought about, is already different. We might still think about the same subject, and we think, oh, it's the same, but we think already a bit differently. We cannot sustain that particular subjective thinking and objective, or whatever it is, object of what we're thinking about in the same way. Moment by moment, they change. They cannot endure. It's not going to be the same, exactly same mind that thinks and the subject that it's thinking about. And so we will see that nothing remains, nothing endures. There's no the self that endures from moment to moment, because everything is different. It's different. So how could it be self, which is like already different moments? But this we will see more in the explanation of the 6 parameter, that of wisdom. Right, and here we are more concerned with meditative concentration, right? So therefore I will mention how to do this practice, like a practical guidelines. So here we're practicing shamatha, mind, we can say meditative concentration. So how to do this session, practically speaking? Well, in the beginning, we should start with refuge. Or if we have time, the best would be go through the 7 branches, which include refuge. Remember, there were 7 branches from before we took the vow. So then once we gone from them, and we sort of, we give rise to pure intention, so that we're practicing for the sake of others, in order to bring them to the state of Buddhahood, right? That, altruistic motivation. Then we can move to the main part of the practice. And the main part would be maybe 15-20 minutes, especially in the beginning. If we are novice practitioners of meditation, no need to do more than that. It's not going to help. So 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we'll see what suits you. Of course, if you're already an experienced meditator, could be an hour, could be 2. Your session can be longer. Slowly, we also, as kind of newly arrived practitioners, we will extend the time. So we can start from the short sessions, but over a month or 2 or 3, we can also extend it. Of course, we don't keep it the same all the time. So the main session of the practice would be then once we, right, sitting down after refuge, bodhicitta, or after 7 branches, we bring to mind some of these reflections. The reflection, first of all, we can spend some days each session just thinking about the equality of self and others, the fundamental wish to be happy and not to suffer, that we all share the same wish, and kind of reflect on that, right? That it makes that we all alike in having this Buddha nature potential to become enlightened. We all have that same core of goodness. Basic goodness is the same for everyone, right? And so we spend some days reflecting in this way. The next days we can move to the next reflection, thinking that we are all interconnected. And as we say in Buddhism, everyone has been our kind parent. All the beings have been our relatives, so we can bring to mind that we are all connected and we share this kind of a bond with other beings. And then the next few days we can move to next reflection, thinking, well, if it's all the case, if everyone wants to be happy, avoid suffering, we're all connected, we have this bond with others, why do I care only about myself? Does it make even sense that I am not striving to help and care for others, but only for myself? So we can think about, well, that it makes sense then to care and protect others. So usually the shamatha practice is not a conceptual practice, right? Focus on breath. We actually don't conceptualize too much. But this is a specific meditation where it's a more conceptual one. So we reflect by utilizing our thinking mind. Yeah, we actually bring to mind this kind of notions and reflect on them. So it's a bit more active practice. It's a bit more conceptual practice, generating bodhicitta or practicing bodhicitta by means of actualizing self and others. So the end of our session, then we dedicate the merit, right? At the end of the meditation session, then after that kind of reflection, when we get this feeling, we can also rest right there in that feeling, let go of all thoughts, kind of embrace that real feeling of warm-heartedness towards all, wish to help them, and then dedicate the merit. Yeah?
So, there's some shagging.
So we stop here for today, and with the text, are there any questions, concerns, feedback? No questions. Insare. Chine chikchina do. So, Eleanor, I think you prefer to go by Dechen. Dechen asked, what is the subtle thought? Di dering Khenpo natso samlo di namtok rakpa yore, natso nyamna nane namtok chava. Di namtok chava karere. Kanjes hako gore namtok chava di.
남도 락바데 사 냐르도 도 라소바당 테네 가르서거래 맞아 양나 독숨 남도 락바데 독숨당 쇼첨보 자와 요래 내가 쇼첨보 제단 자와 첨보 여근된 저 망저 남도 락바래 몽바 차시당 가서래 뭐마지 내서 몽보 chen 몽바지 차시 쇼첨보 당 아니 테네 쇼첨보 레명도 남도 락바래 더 남도 차와디 중중 파겔을 지도 또 양 대를 지도 디치 레다스인데 중중중에 전용인데 남도 타워서 그러와. 디레 디마르 텐데 섬지도 남도 타워서 그래.
So we separate subtle thought from coarse thought. So what is a coarse thought? First of all, it's the thoughts that we know have to do with our daily routine, Like, oh, what will I have for lunch? Or, you know, what time I will go to sleep? Or where will I go afterwards? Shopping, any kind of job, right? Oh, I need to do this or that email, blah, blah. And especially something that is very much mixed with free mental poisons, like thoughts of attachment. Oh, I need, I want, aversion. Oh, this I don't like, or ignorant thoughts. These are all coarse thoughts. It's basically our worries, it's our, you know, anticipations, plans, it's our memories, fantasies. This is all like, right, very coarse. So subtle would be just a thought like, oh, it's there. Like, you know, sometimes we have this very, not something really strongly formed about, I need to do that, or I have done this, I need to talk to her. This is all very coarse. Subtle is like a passing thought of like basically labeling something. Oh, okay, you know, this is there, or this is that, like a, you know, very, very like more like just identifying or labeling something that's somewhere, yeah, rather than having a whole, you know, talk with oneself about what's that and what is that about. Any more questions? We still have some minutes. Okay, well, now it looks like not, no? And, okay. Mindu.
Also, Männer, denen yang kasugure, komdang kola, tortuchi shugi.
Then I will, if there is no questions, then I will mention shortly something about the shamatha practice.
Da shine, da 당보 shine komede mikpa tsale de, pemeza keshumbare. Mikpa kang yagadu, mikden tsalgo korwa, mikpa komdang de, changju yisem yagbo yongko ina, changju yisem ngotenu komdang de korwa. changju yisem da samlo magbo tangdo dhoko de, samlo tangya da samlo khaga lep dhokore. Tani nga tering kanso gore, Rangjung ngazo samja tamja dewar shibu ning yoba chigbare niya sandene che samlo di samlo meba che chela samlo khaga lep sozo ji samlo di changju ki samlo tanga yoba goma suba che samlo shenpa pe shuk shuma lep dhogurwa ta tende tarung namyeng namdo shenpa masa mangbo tende lep dhog ane ta kare che gudu chena ane lamza yang migden jiga zana yabo yore migden zaldi uk lela sho de uk da mi tsama le lela sho re la be yo ma re mang chawa la lela sho re kashi uk pen mesa kale yore kashi mang chawa uk lela yo de uk di tanga zo subu di sok tang rel yo de uk di lela yo do wa tene uk la mikwa che uk di tene palo chilo la tang na la ngu tang ya dang ngui be ni di tanga chik zi ne tanga dun spar tene tema kashi jam 다 또 직선나 대설레체 양장주의 섬들라 섬라다이 답제당 안 옥디 양깔라하고 쇼 연구는 안 소소들 잘라질 다는 되그래 근데 처음에는 처음에 다는 되그래와 산제지 꿀라 다는 되그래 매도라 다는 되그래 뉴굴라 다는 되그래 잘라 강라다는 태버게요 말에 잘라라 다는 양깔마가체 대 대야고 연구도 있는데 데라 다른 디지 남도 시고요나 디모드는 근도스장 ane toos dikson ane changjusam kome la bizunche. Yang di yang la tsaki mena, ane yang shimba tabze tang chogore. Mena chala samla tang chogore, chala la yang gyura tang chogore, kabala medo, kabala nyugu, kabala lok, kabala chume, kabala par, kabala tini shingdong. Da amene gyurne. O dinde jine tini tabze tang, tini kabala toos lulue teko gore. Kabala ta tomdom chagyo na, ya mala toos gyuk. 네, 소부 추도스 잡양 추라 잡양 신의 kom에 답제당. 자네 라사게면은 karma 카시 냐ල්되는 되게. 무슨 남도 추정보다 당체고도 카부 효용도 karma 카시에 양 못는 kom에 답제당. 어 된대로나 아니 신의 kom에라. 대스 편도스 그래.
So here, when we meditate on bodhicitta as our practice of shamatha, right, with the meditation on bodhicitta, sometimes we start with those reflections on, you know, beings are equal, we're all alike, and and then we wish them to be happy. But then, because it's a conceptual practice, sometimes it's easy that we lose that particular, reflection of bodhicitta, and other thoughts come because we sort of focusing on thoughts. Happens that then other thoughts come. We start by bodhicitta, but then we notice that there are other distractions, other thoughts. What to do? Then we should take a break from meditating on bodhicitta and focus on something else, such as, for example, breath, because it would be the easiest. Not for all, not for everyone. It's not the easiest practice for everyone, but for most people, because it's connected with our life force. It's always with us. It's easy to focus on breath. And then we can do the round of 7, right? Paying attention to the feeling of breath in and out, count it as 1, so 7 times, and then relax, let go, and bring back again the reflection on equalizing self and other. Practice on bodhicitta, the awakened mind by means of equalizing self and others. Then again, if we notice that thinking, kind of actually carries us away and we are unable to sustain that reflection on bodhicitta, we can choose another object of meditation. Then we can actually focus on something material in front of us, like a candle, a flower, a Buddha statue, could be even a pen. Yeah, it doesn't need to be anything holy. We just focus on that and see if that helps us to pacify our thoughts. And if we see, yeah, my mind really comes down, not much discursiveness, relax, let go, focusing on pen, flower, what have you, and come back to practice on bodhicitta again with that calm mind. And you can meditate on the quality of self and others. And sometimes it's okay to change the material object, like, for some minutes was flower, but then later it could be a candle, it could be a pebble, could be a sound, but it's not the point, right? We need to find what works for us to help us gain some calmness. And then when we let go of, and then we can continue with the main practice of bodhicitta. But sometimes if we let go, we were meditating on like a flower, a candle, or breath. So we gain this kind of calmness, and then we let go, and we kind of start sinking and drowsy. Well, then it's important to get up, move a little, go wash, splash some water on your face, wash your face, go back, and then meditate on bodhicitta. Or maybe take a nap first if you're really sleep deprived and don't push yourself to meditate. So, but there's this kind of techniques, right? When we meditate on bodhicitta and we're unable to do the whole session for 15, 20 minutes, a whole hour of just thinking, reflecting, yeah? If we see that it brings about a lot of discursiveness, we should take breaks and focus on breath or an actual object, change that object, and then relax and go back to bodhicitta, yeah? So there's this kind of a helping aid to our practice.
So
then we dedicate to merit now.
Sebe zole ndova dovara jo changjo zemjo rimboch maje vanam de gyurje keba nyamba meba yang gongde gondo belwara jo